a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
I think it's time to get back to the grind. We'll be looking at yet another WWE game I grew up with. After Smackdown 2 Know Your Role and Smackdown vs. Raw 2007 showcased, nostalgia blinded me twice in a row. I figured it was time to see if that's true with yet another childhood wrestling game. This time, it is WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2010.
Oh, no shit.
Which I remember quite fondly when it comes to the combat roster, match types, and of course Creation Suite, especially given its introduction of Story Designer, one of my favorite things in WWE games back then. But I also remember it had vast restrictions I hated. So let's get this one over with and see if WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2010 for the PS2 is worth playing or not. Once I dived into Create a Superstar, I was surprised to see there wasn't really anything added. It's just the same thing as last time.
Oh, this sucks.
I remembered there being more to it than this, but maybe that was the PS3/360 version that has more content to play with. Who knows? Anyways, I was still having fun making everyone. Though I didn't bring back everyone, I did bring back a few. We got Charlie, Muda, Zach, Dirt, myself, Schlatt, Queso, Maximilian, Joe, and AVGN. Though some were harder to make than others, I mean there wasn't really much to work with to make AVGN correctly, for example. But it is whatever, I still had some decent fun making people in here, despite the lack of options and new stuff to play with. I also gave Derp his Slim Jim hair because, once again, there's no spiky hairstyles for him like in the older games. Sorry Derp, but those more wacky cause of old are no longer possible in these modern games for some stupid reason.
Why?
I'm about done with this mode anyways. So let's go over Create a Moveset, which has seen some change. But not for the better.
Who did it? Why'd they do it? Are they still alive? Can I find them? We're gonna go find them.
Create a Moveset remains unchanged as well, outside of a minor issue that doesn't need to be a thing, but sadly here we are. They made it where you can only edit one wrestler at a time in between saves. Yep, we're going back to 2000 instead of 2009. Why? Why make this change? Why make it where I cannot just edit everyone then save and exit? But no, now we have to edit one, save, edit another, save. It piles up with this fucking stupid bullshit stop and go crap. We were cruising down the highway last time, now we're taking the back roads because of some dumbass couldn't program things right.
Oh God. I mean, does it though? For sure? You sure about that? It means that?
When it comes to creative finisher, we get some new additions to making them, plus the ability to make diving finishers as well. This is great, as I have more stuff to play with. I'm all for this mode now. I enjoyed making wacky attacks for my cause, going ham by destroying a man's ballsack and then breaking their spine in half, or even spinning in the air like a monkey on PCP.
I'm on crack and even I think that's whack. Anyways, empty your pockets. Right now, everything. Yeah, I'm serious.
I highly recommend you play with this one now. It's actually worth your time here. I'll show off the moves when we talk about the combat after the creation suite, but for now we gotta cover creating an entrance. Creating an entrance hasn't been touched up at all. It's still the same exact thing as the last few games, so that's a good or bad thing depending on your perspective. For me, it's just fine. I'd rather have them not mess with it if they won't make things better in some way. I did enjoy the sheer amount of entrances though. Having several legends hidden under the generic names was nice. Though I did hate how the crowd sound and stuff was tied to the music. If I disable the music, I get silence during this. But in game, everything is back to normal, again. But otherwise, that's about all I can say about this feature, so let's move on to create a stable. Creating stables is the same as last time. Under my WWE, you can create a stable. Okay, I give up on having things moved around, so whatever. There's nothing changed here from 2009, so make your stables and then go into create an entrance and select team to make your duo and trio entrances for your stables. At least when it comes to stable entrances, we got a lot of duo, but barely anything for trio. What else is new? Also, only duo and trio are still supported, even though your stables can have several people within them. But whatever. At least we got some neat entrances like Brothers of Destruction, and then the one I gave Schlatt and Zach.
And the opponents,
The Rocker and the Dog.
At least in terms of creation suite new stuff, we got rivals now. Yep, you can now set up allies and enemies with varying degrees as to just how much you hate and like each other.
Just take all my money. Oh, not this soon, not this soon. Ah!
So you can now make your cause or even unique wrestlers have their own set of friends and foes, which will help determine who will interfere in matches that allow interference. So if you're losing, whoever's top of the friend list will be sure to jump in and aid you. Meanwhile, if you're dominating, your worst enemy is most likely to make your day a living hell.
Look at me. Do I look crazy to you?
Oh, what an elbow!
Starting out with the roster, it's pretty good, though kind of small once you notice the lack of legends. Yeah, this game's shortcoming for its roster is entirely in the legends, or their lack of. We only have a select few that most people can live without, including myself. The only ones I'd keep are The Rock and Stone Cold, but Stone Cold himself was a pre-order bonus DLC for PS3 and 360 owners only.
And they pushed him out. They got him out.
You done fucked it up.
PS2 owners got shafted once again. Why not just make him an unlockable or a cheat code then for the PS2 users? What a stupid decision. Everyone should get to have Stone Cold tell them because Stone Cold said so. Aw, man.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
I had plenty of options for my cause to be based on and uniques to play with. Overall, a decent roster with nothing really bad about it minus the legends, so let's move on to the combat itself finally.
Hard right hand. There goes Jericho.
SVR09 fleshed out the combat and made things so much fun, yet in this game nothing has changed as you still do the same attack combos using the same exact buttons basically. I didn't need a refresher or to look up for a manual online or anything of the sort. This game is just 2009 2.0. Now that's not a bad thing. In fact, 2009 was the best combat-wise up to this point. This game just doesn't try to add onto it or make things even more fluid is all.
We might be seeing the beginning of the end.
Run me on the game! Run me on it! Fist me, Dolores!
And Omega nails it. The match is over. That's all she wrote.
One major issue I have with this game is compared to past games. The AI is too passive, like they'll just stand there most of the time as I completely dominated them. Rarely ever would they fight back.
Another shot with a boot.
Even when I hosted matches with just the AI to see how they'd play it, it was no different. I just cannot understand this changeup. Was it because the console CPU couldn't process the AI that well anymore, so they had to scale it back? Akin to Dynasty Warriors losing its aggressive AI from Dynasty Warriors 3 and 4?
Personified in this one. Anything and everything will happen.
Either way, only once in a full moon did the AI actually fight back, and that was a breath of fresh air. I just wish, given I play these games on normal difficulty, would actually fight back. But whatever, I'd recommend you play on a higher difficulty in the hopes that they might be more aggressive.
Got planned with that steel chair. A hard right hand. And the lumber's back in the match.
One change that I'm actually completely happy with is the removal of the UI. At least for the most part. I mean, you're seeing it right there on screen right now. It's just now your finisher gauge that's visible underneath you. You're no longer given an on-screen HUD like before. This really helps when you have 6 people in the match at once. Now we can see everything more clearly. It's just a great change-up. Now if you want to know how well you're doing, just look at your wrestler and how they move around. It's not a terrible change, and I'd rather have it like this than in 2009 any day.
Bye-bye, samurai. That'll do some damage.
Finishers are still the same as well, but I did have fun making some, since there's more options now for ground finishers and the introduction of diving finishers. It's fun making wacky attacks straight out of a cartoon or anime.
The physicality. He can barely stand, but he still moves on.
All good things must come to an end. But I wish that match could have gone on a little longer.
I was given a few custom finishers to some of my cause just to spice up the combat more. Of course, you know what that means, right? Hey Queso, Asmongold wants Dolores.
He's gonna do some serious damage right here. And this one's been phenomenal. The atmosphere is true.
As for new match types, we only have 2 with a few additional backstage brawls. Yay?
Yay! No, Chris, not yay.
Well, the backstage brawls are still soulless with no real sound effects or anything of the sort. You have very little space to fight in, no ability to move around to different locations either unlike in Shut Your Mouth. You only have the backstage, a green screen, and an office. It's boring and god awful. I don't know how many times I smashed Queso's skull into the floor of the office room just to finally win the match. These things take forever, and with the AI so passive, things are just not that engaging at all. Plus, we're still limited to 2 people only fights. Divas are now allowed in another match type. Yep, they finally gave some love to the ladies, except it fucking sucks. It's just tag team match where men and women team up in teams of 2.
Crisp elbow drop.
You gotta tag in your partner according to the gender of the enemy, so if I'm playing as a dude, I gotta tag in my diva partner if the other dude tagged in his. Lame. I just want to fight, not be restricted. And no, you can't knock out the ref and then beat the shit out of the woman. This game is very white knight simp, who's also a physician. You'll get a disqualification if you try this. Fuck that, let me beat the shit out of a woman. Equal rights, equal lefts, together we're united in our love of fighting.
What's he doing?
Look at the power, the velocity, the impact. 1, 2, 3! They did it! Wow, what a match!
Here are your winners, the Monster and Mickey James.
Momentum is so important.
The last new match type is Championship Scramble. Instead of a typical title match, now you have several people competing for the belt. Whoever is the current champ must fight several other people at once within a time limit. If they survive, they keep the title. But if someone can tap them out or pin them or whatever, then they lose their title.
School's in session, boys and girls. It's the professor.
At first I thought, this sounds okay, so let's give it a try. Well, it turns out to be a rather boring mode, as everyone is competing to pin the champ within a short amount of time, so everyone is interrupting each other's pin and fighting each other and the champ.
Oh no! Here it comes!
It's just not that much fun, rather just irritating to play, much like a ladder match in this game, because every time I try to climb the ladder, it makes my character pick up the ladder instead, but when I want to pick it up, it makes me climb the ladder. Even though I'm positioned right, it won't register correctly. It's as if they programmed things backwards, which wouldn't have surprised me. But in the end, Championship Scramble is a terrible match type of its own, just like Mixed Tag Match.
He calls his partner over, and they're looking to go to work on the opponent. Good luck walking after that one.
Well, as for story designer, the new huge deal for this entry, well, it's not as good as I remember.
Ah, boy, here we go.
You're vastly restricted on what you can even do. The lack of voices, sounds, and more really makes things all the more soulless. You can only have a select few scenes and matches in each story depending on how many wrestlers you use, and if it's a call or unique. You can't pause, rewind, or fast forward through scenes to see each segment to edit and test things out either. After 30 minutes of screwing around, I just gave up. Let me explain in more detail.
Explain yourself.
Of course, you're also limited to 2 stories total.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you can only save 2 stories. And no, you cannot delete the pre-made ones that eat up the list. So you have a limited amount of scenes, wrestlers, and whatnot you can use in each of your 2 stories. So good luck making something with that, with such a vast restriction.
Can't I just have a break? Can't I just have one break?
Sadly, this mode is held back by the sheer amount of loading screens. Just lots of fade to black with crowd sound effects to keep your attention as it loads through whatever you choose. Every time you pick a scene, pick a character, alter anything within the scene, and it loops without your ability to pause, fast forward, or rewind. So you're just waiting forever for the scene to load and progress so you can to where your last edit was to see how it turned out. And if you need to add anything, all of this just adds up to boredom. Maybe it's less bad flow times on PS3 and 360, but for the PS2, it's about as long as a normal loading screen to navigate modes and matches.
Not so good, huh? Not so good.
What little you can make, however, is another problem. I wasn't able to really create an interconnected story with my cause. You have scenes that feel like they just don't belong or can't be used for an ongoing plot, but a one-time encounter that may be used for a joke you post online or something, you know? It's just sad what little I have to work with here. I struggled to make something, namely because of the restrictions, load times, and lackluster scenes. But this brings me to another problem that will turn many people away. You have to use a controller to type up text. When you're just naming your cause, this is nothing. But now that you have to type in actual sentences, this leads to time-consuming typing with a PS2 controller.
It's awful.
Each line of text can take a few minutes to type as you have to space, backspace, shift the text upper and lowercase and whatnot. It's just not that fun to deal with. Now, if this game was on PC, I'd not have any problem with this portion of Story Designer. I mean, we could just type it up in a matter of seconds via keyboard, but no. Honestly, after a while, I just gave up. This mode is so flawed, yet the potential was there. I like Story Designer and concept, but man, does it get held back by a lack of audio options, lack of voices, tons of loading screens, a lack of scenes to use, restrictions on who can appear in each scene, and of course, to type text with a freaking controller. Oh god, does it just add up to a not so much fun time. So, here's what I made within those 30 minutes I spent in Story Designer. Get the popcorn.
This is so exciting!
I need a medic bag! I'm dying! Somebody drop a medic bag!
Oh, down!
I'm about to take my drawers off! I'm about to take my drawers off!
I have seen the amateur and it is you. I have seen the amateur and it is you.
She called the cops! She called the cops! And this is what they fucking did to her!
Here we go in this tornado tag match, and that means all four competitors are legal at all times.
Just listen to his body crash into the ground. Can't breathe. Break. That one got him. Uh-oh. The Rocker's in some big trouble. could be huge.
That should do it right there. He breaks up the pin and the match continues.
Grizzly. The hardcore icon got it.
One, two, three.
The hardcore icon wins.
That's it?
Once again, bad load times galore. What is up with this? Roughly 35 to 58 seconds a pop depending on what you're doing. Plus to load into a match is well over a minute. This really held the game back for me. I just want to play, but instead I feel like I'm at the doctor's office, waiting for them to stop popping pills and check my prostate, to only end up with a porcupine shoved up my arse instead. Hell, at least that would be much more pleasant than this game's constantly overly long loading screens.
Couldn't have said that better myself.
They still haven't brought back 6-man tornado tag or even triple threat.
Damn it!
Why? Why remove those modes? We can have normal 3-man tag teams, but not at the same time? Also, why can't we have more than 2 people fighting backstage still, basically? Where's the all-out brawls of old at? Alright, back in WWE Smackdown Shut Your Mouth. That sucks. I shouldn't have to play an extremely old game just to experience fun like that. SVR 10 can clearly handle several people in the ring at once, so there's zero excuse for this removal.
Orbo agrees.
I refuse to touch Road to WrestleMania as it's just campaign mode / career mode / 24/7 mode / PPV mode / tournament mode / who gives a flying fuck mode. Remove this crap and re-add triple threat and more. Could have used that disk space for better things, including more legends.
You ain't lying.
Overall, there's a lack of content to really enjoy here. It's just more of the same as the new modes all but suck. I ran out of things to do pretty quickly, almost even more so than when I played and reviewed SVR09 a while ago. So be warned, unless you only play a WWE game here and there, you won't have much value in this game and the money you wasted on it.
Oh, majestic!
Well, this means our journey of reviewing every WWE Smackdown vs. Raw game is almost at an end, with only one game left to go. I'll get to WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2011 whenever I can. I just hope it brings in more legends and match types to justify its existence. So far, most of these games were mediocre and barely worth my time. Only a select few were anything painfully average, let alone borderline. Time to wrap things up.
Everyone at home? Are you sitting? I mean, probably weird if you were standing watching this. I mean, what do you got some sort of standing desk? Think you're better than me, don't you?
At the end of the day, WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2010 isn't as great as I remembered. It's just the same game as 2009, except with some slight alterations. Story designer was so tacked on here and isn't anything special. I like the idea, but it needs more work. Combat remains basically unchanged, and it's just simple fast-paced arcade fun. The load times are horrendous, the UI is all but gone during combat, to which I kind of like. Yet when it comes to UI navigation, namely with the wrestler list, it's just terrible. Where's a normal list of everything? Why are we selecting one at a time without being able to know who's next? Create a Superstar doesn't really have anything added, especially assets. I just wanted more hair options at the very least. The soundtrack is great. Too bad I had to disable it because of YouTube. If you just want SVR09 but with a single new match and nothing really else changed, this is for you, as I just couldn't believe yet again nostalgia blinded me. Truly, nostalgia.
It's a hell of a drug.
But it's still fun, and I can easily recommend the game. I just wish we had more legends to play with. I hate how Stone Cold is exclusive to pre-orders for PS3 and 360 owners. I'm not a fan of mixed tag team, and I'm also, as I'm not allowed to beat up the women. I miss the older games where we can choke slam women in the ring. Equal rights, equal lefts.
Based.
Honestly, WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2010 for the PS2 is just an average fun little game, and I can recommend it. I'll get to SVR 11 soon. Till then, anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.